Rated M for mature.
Don't let your kids watch it!
So Satoshi is in a cult now, apparently. The day of the Watanagashi Festival. June 20th, 1982, 1:40 p.m. What was I doing today? Oh, that's right. I'm practicing my tribal drum skills. Nothing in particular. Nothing at all. I just wanted to play hooky. Did you at least tell Mion? Like, hey, Satoshi wants you to take Satoko to the festival, or you just like, screw Satoko, I don't care. I woke up in the afternoon. Yeah, I agree. The siblings' lives are a huge tragedy. It goes back to the old saying, every child deserves a parent. Not every parent deserves a child. I ate instant food for lunch while watching boring TV programs. I had a light headache, so I lay down on the sofa. I wouldn't wake up again if I went to sleep. Whatever. I decided to sleep. I'd already told Sis that Satoshi-kun had asked her to look after Satoko. Okay, at least she did that. I didn't have to do anything myself. I fell asleep, though my head was aching a little bit. That would be all I'd have to deal with. June 20th, 1982, 5:02 p.m. The aunt believed that all of the villagers frowned upon her because her brother-in-law and his wife were the pro-dam activists. Okay. Oh, okay. So the aunt is... Wait. No. So the aunt is not biologically related to Satoko's parents at all. Or Satoko and Satoshi. She, Teppei, I guess. So Teppei is the brother of either their mother or the father. Youth. That's rough. Oh boy. She surely experienced some fallout during the time of the dispute. But people had stopped looking coldly upon her, even though she assumed otherwise. She was paranoid, believing that all the villagers hated her. Well, they probably do, but not because of the damn stuff. And so, she decided to hate them back. Her attitude, of course, begot hatred from the villagers. And the situation became exactly the way she thought it was from the start. That's how miserable people be. What came first, their poor relationships with the neighbors or her husband's affair? She didn't know herself. Her husband claimed that he got a lover because he was fed up with her attitude. I mean, he's also just a tool. She, in turn, claimed that their relationships with the neighbors went sour because her husband had damaged their reputation. I'm pretty sure it's because you both are terrible people. Only Satoshi was aware that both happened at almost the exact same time. The quarrels had become a daily routine now. When the husband came home late, the wife would shout at him from the entrance. Satoshi wondered why they didn't get a divorce, their marriage being as rotten as it was. But he secretly knew the reason for that, too. It was the fortune his parents had left. Oh no. The aunt had hidden their bank book and stamp and never allowed her husband access to them. Oh, and she's not even the one who was related to them. Oh, she sucks. She doesn't suck quite as much as the uncle does. But, oh man, she's awful. You get paranoia. You get paranoia. Everybody gets paranoia. Exactly. So her husband would search the house for them. She'd find out he stole some money from her purse. This is why the house is a dump. And they don't clean. This would cause yet another fight. I don't support adultery of any kind. If you're going to cheat, at least break up with your spouse first. But in this case, like, I at least understand why the uncle was, like, having an affair. It sounds like this was not a very loving marriage at all. Satoshi had never been aware that his parents had that much money when they were alive. After their death, however, one of his relatives told him. He was informed that his parents had left a huge sum of money in some bank account. Satoshi couldn't understand why they had that kind of money because his family had been, as far as he knew, poor. Yeah, but they also invested big in crypto. And this was back in 82, so, you know, it's gonna inflate. Isn't it when Teppei got mad looking for the money in Chapter 3? When wasn't Teppei mad in Chapter 3? It was because of the dam project. It's funny because, like, wordplay. It could be the dam project or that dam project. It's funny. His parents probably got the money in return for their cooperation with the government. Oh, no. So, really what they did is they stole money from everybody else because the government doesn't get money on its own. They tax money. They had strived to get more villagers on their side, provided information to them and whatnot. The money was probably compensation for their efforts. His aunt and uncle never had any intention to adopt them until they heard about the money. Ugh. After someone from some financial institution revealed its existence, they appeared to adopt Satoko and Satoshi. The couple would fight every day. Eventually, Satoshi's uncle started spending more time at his mistress's home because he couldn't find the money. Ooh, the money. He realized he had no reason to return to his own home because he'd just end up in a fight with his wife if he did. Yeah, he's like, screw this, I'm not doing this. I don't agree with what he does, but... When he stopped coming home, Satoshi felt relieved. Neither their uncle nor their aunt treated the two siblings very well. Satoshi's aunt wouldn't have to vent her frustration upon them. The reason the couple fought was their corrupted relationship, so if they separated, there wouldn't be any more fights. No, they're both terrible people. Satoshi had fought at that at first. But even after they separated, his aunt still had a short temper. Another woman had stolen her husband. The villagers must have been talking behind her back. It was mortifyingly embarrassing. Since she lost an opponent to fight, Satoshi's aunt directed her hatred towards the siblings. Satoshi had been observing her. He learned when she would get upset and how to avoid her attention. He managed to get by without upsetting her, by turning a keen eye to her behavior and avoiding conflicts. But Satoko couldn't do that. She hated her aunt and didn't even try to hide it. Satoshi told her to behave in her aunt's presence, but her eyes were always filled with hatred. Satoshi strived to reduce the conflict between them as much as possible. He stepped in to mend their relationship. It was a heavy burden for him, though, because he was still just a boy. He bore so much, he covered for his little sister by lying and maneuvering. He tried to maintain a tangible sense of peace, but he couldn't do that forever. The relationship between Satoko and her aunt had already spiraled out of control. Satoshi found something in the trash. Oh, we're back to the junkyard. We haven't been here since chapter 1, have we? No, we probably saw this at some other point. It probably wasn't a legitimate place for trash disposal. If it was, sanitation workers would come and pick it up. He passed by the street all the time, so he noticed that there were new fiends dumped here. He found a plain-looking desk of the kind likely he'd be seen in offices. Somebody must have dumped it within the past few days. His aunt liked to bring usable trash home. She'd had Satoshi help bring a chest home just a few days ago. If he told her about the desk, she'd want it. His aunt hated to find bugs and garbage in the drawers, so he'd always open them to check before carrying the thing home. Satoshi opened all the drawers, all of which were empty. After that, he turned around and walked about 5 steps. He was standing in a knee-high bush. There he laid something he'd been carrying all the time, until today. It'd be very hard to find unless you specifically knew it was there to begin with. Looking satisfied, Satoshi looked around for some landmark to remember the place by. This is him burying the body, or maybe. Or the bat. June 20th, 1982, 5:51 p.m.
Hey, Oyaji!
What was that voice? Hey, Oyaji!
今年も来たね。また根こそぎかっさらってくから覚悟しときなよ。
Guys, can you believe this? The stall itself is talking. This is a miracle. There has to be some demonic presence at work.
そっちの子は新顔かい？
この子はね、竜宮レナ。こう見えてても結構やるよ。
Hey, Rena.
そんなことないよ。
Nice to see you in your casual outfit.
よろしくお願いしますね。
おう、こっちこそよろしくな。今年もいろいろ景品を持ってきたんだぜ。
Ooh.
もちろん真剣勝負だ。根こそぎ持ってけるもんなら持ってけってんだ。
レナは可愛いものに
And
は目
there
が
she
ないの
is.
ですよ。
Rika in the Shrine Maiden outfit. Very adorable.
ああ、あのぬいぐるみとそっちのぬいぐるみはレナの好みだね。
Oh boy, cute mode activate.
可愛いね。
Why are we getting the creepy music in the background? I know somebody's gonna die.
お持ち帰り。
ダメだよ。まだ準備中だよ。おい。
You gotta win the game first, Rena. That's how it works.
レナ、ダメダメ。まだ準備中だってさ。ちゃんと回転したら根こそぎさらってやりな。
もうダメだよ。レナのものなんだよ。お持ち帰り。
No, you're not. Rena lost her marbles over the stuffed animal. Everybody laughed. What a kook! Everybody except Satoko. Yeah. Yeah! She was standing by herself, some distance from the crowd. Her eyes looked dull. Yeah, I wonder why.
なんなんですのリカ。
Thank goodness Rika's here to be friends with Satoko, even if she has her own creepy moments. Rika walked up to Satoko, smiling ear to ear in an effort to cheer her up.
今日は何も考えなくていいのですよ。いっぱい楽しく過ごしましょうなのです。
Satoko looked down. Even if she got to have fun today, her circumstances at home wouldn't change. Well, about that!
さとこ、意地悪なおばさんは今日はお祭りに
Like
は
is
来
so
ませんでし
blunt!
た。
Your aunt is evil. Not like your terrible aunt is. No, your evil aunt isn't around. I mean, she is pretty evil, let's be frank. She's evil in a common way. She's not extraordinary like Maleficent. She's just a terrible person. You remember hating the slice of life scenes, reading chapter 1, desperate for the plot to kick in. By chapter 5, you wanted them to never end. I like the slice of life stuff. That's some of the best stuff.
そんなことは分かってますわ。なら、いっぱい笑っていっぱい楽しくなるのですよ。ニパー。ニパー。
I said Nipa. Rico, I don't know what that
ありがとですけど、
means.
そういう気分になれませんの。申し訳ございませんけど、放っておいてくださいませ。どうしてさとこは笑いませんでした？
I just don't know. It's not like her life is terrible. Satoko sulkily glimpsed at Rika. She gave her a look, as though she wanted to say that Rika should know the reason. Even if she could have fun today, nothing would change between her and her evil aunt. No matter how fun the festival was, once she went home, her aunt would be there. The aunt would find something wrong with Satoko, get mad, and shout at her so loudly that the neighbors would hear. I don't know why the neighbors are gossiping about me and hate me so much! They can hear you abusing your kids! How could she have fun, even just for today, while knowing all that? I agree! If I have, like, a worry in the future, like, an actual serious one, it's hard to kind of enjoy the present without just being, like, stupid and trying to forget entirely about it. Easier said than done, too. She didn't say that out loud, but her eyes betrayed the emotions to Rika.
ではさとこ、さとこの辛いのが今日でおしまいになるの。
Rika, are you in on this
さ
too?
とこは笑ってくれ
Oh
ま
wait,
す
no,
ですか？
no, she just knows what's going to happen. Never mind. She's not in on it. She just knows what's going to happen. Satoko gasped. She thought that Rika might do something to help. But soon after, she realized that Rika was just trying to comfort her. Well, kinda. Yes and no. Could her suffering end today? Because of Rika? How? Satoko knew that there was nothing Rika could do. And so, after just one moment of freedom, Satoko fell into depression again. Rika is
リカ、
Rika is remarkably chipper, considering her parents died at the festival last year, and she's living alone. I know she's, like, all-knowing or whatever, but
くだらない気休めは聞きたくないですわ。
they're not false.
さとこ、
Rika's voice was clearer than Satoko had ever heard before.
もう決まっていることなので。
Oh, creepy Rika back! June 20th, 1982, 8:11 p.m. Satoshi snuck out a window after supper. He heard the distant ruckus of the festival. The festival would end at 9 p.m. After the Watanagashi ceremony, there would be a raffle drawing. So there were two types of people in Hinamizawa. The people who would go home for dinner, and the ones who would stay until the raffle was over. Either relaxing at home or still at the festival. There were only those two patterns. On top of that, there weren't many neighbors in the vicinity of Satoshi's house. As a result, he found nobody on the streets. On that night, the small village seemed especially desolate. Satoshi knew it was going to be like this, but he would keep worrying until he saw it for himself. He was barefooted, but started running without hesitation. He felt as though he'd become a wild animal, running on his bare feet. Oh boy. He's doing it, everybody! He's getting ready. Oh. This is, this is gonna be interesting, isn't it? Come on, where is it? He's up at bat now. He got the impression that he could run faster than usual. Not only his running ability, his vision, his hearing, and his sense of smell. All his senses were keener, including his sixth sense. He could almost sense the presence of people in the distance. He also has 5-star power, if only when crouching like an animal. It felt strange, as though he had stepped into another world. He'd been feeling tense and anxious until today, battling with his own fear. But now he felt as though he had metamorphosed into a different person. Yeah, there might be some demonic possession happening here. June 20th, 1982, 8:37 p.m.
それでは
What a great voice.
お楽しみ抽選会の説明をこれより始めますね。
Of course you are, man!
どうぞ皆さん、櫓の周りにお集まりくださいな。
The festival had reached its climax. The raffle was going to start. They didn't have a raffle, okay? It's just here. Both the women who were dancing and those who were waiting for the raffle gathered around the altar. This was the first time they'd held a raffle, and also the last. The planning committee decided to hold one from this year onward to attract more people to the festival. At first, the prizes were things the committee members had donated, but Oreo, not appreciating how pathetic they looked, had thrown them away. Oreo took the initiative and bought a brand new TV, a washing machine, a cooling fan, and other such things for the raffle. The committee wanted to keep it small initially, but it turned out big thanks to her. Oreo was upset because the committee members weren't enthusiastic enough, in her opinion. Also, a pack of Oreos. But don't worry, if you find the singing Oreo, you might win big. Some of the members thought it would be very difficult to prepare prizes of equal value the following year, so this might be the first and the last raffle. Aha, that's why.
お嬢さんのおかげで本当な素晴らしい商
Oh
品になった
boy,
ね。
old people. We barely know about the guy on the right. We just know Shion killed him in a year or two. And then we got Oreo. She sucks.
だいぶかかったんじゃないの？運営費で立て替えするよ。
すったらうな程度で建て替えなんてアホらしい。銭金の問題じゃないんね。たく。
まあまあそう言わないで。お嬢さんのおかげでできた抽選会なんだから。
こんな私一人でどうにかすりゃええんちゅうわけとちゃいなや。パホクサ。
The mayor, Kimiyoshi, was having a tough time pacifying Oreo. All of a sudden, one of the committee members burst into the tent in a rush. Troll in the dungeon! He looked upset, so Kimiyoshi assumed that somebody had probably got hurt in an accident.
どうしたの牧野さん。そんなに息を弾ませたら心臓が破りっちゃうよ。
I bet Oreo's pretty bad. Kimiyoshi made a joke to calm him down. Makino, however, still looked tense. He whispered something to Kimiyoshi. Even without hearing the exchange between Makino and Kimiyoshi, it was plain as day that there was bad news. At the very least, Oreo has a torture chamber in her house. A room specifically for torturing people. And in case you think, well, maybe she didn't build it, maybe she just inherited it. Okay, she hasn't taken it down. So, think about that. Boy.
お嬢さん、悪い話なんだ
Somebody stole the TV! Kimiyoshi, accompanied by Makino, moved to Oreo's side and spoke in a very serious tone. Kimiyoshi whispered to her the exact same words Makino told him.
いやいや、参ったよな。
参るも参らんもなんねん。三度あっちゃんは
Uh-oh.
四度あるっちゅう
The aunt is dead! Imagine if the aunt won the raffles, even though she didn't enter.
お嬢さん、そりゃ笑えないや。
面白い話でもなんでもないや。面倒が増えただけっちゃね。
警察が今身元を調べてるらしい。どうも相当顔面をやられてるらしくて、
Oh,
身元の特定が難しそうなんだ。
he used the star power hit. He used... Which star power hit? Did he use Mario's fireball? Did he use Donkey Kong throwing a barrel at her face? Did she use Bowser's bullet bill? She probably used Bowser's bullet bill. That's not going to leave much left. They already got the news. He wasn't very stealthy. Then again, neither was Keiichi. He just had his friends cover for him.
顔がわからんでも
She
おお
already
その想
knows.
像はつくっちゃな。
I summoned the demon and told him to possess Satoshi. What? What?
心当たりがあるのかい。
Oreo glared at Kimiyoshi, then started chuckling. Yikes!
バ
I
カ
don't like that laugh. That's creepy.
綿流しの祭りにも顔を見せん。ちゃんとお社様を敬って祭りに来ちょるんは。そんな目には合わなんと
The Gundam poster in the background. Yeah, look at that laugh. She's like, she's happy it's happening. She's like, well, if you just follow the rules, we won't have to put hits out on people. Oreo kept laughing. Kimiyoshi and Makino didn't know how to react to that. June 20th, 1982, 9:04 p.m. Oh! So we got Uisi and Kumagai. I was wondering if this would be Akasaka, but nope, that doesn't look like him.
こりゃ無残なもんっすね。
Who the heck could do such a thing?
クマちゃん、死に方ってのは本人が望んだものでない限り、どんなでも無残なもんです。
Satoshi is definitely going to be MVP this game.
お悔やみ申し上げちゃいますよ。そっちどう？ポッケの中身とか個人が特定できそうなものは？
The forensic investigators shook their heads. Oh no, unfortunately we don't.
サンダル履きで服装もラフ。近くにお住まいの方でしょうね。服装の特徴から周辺に聞き込みをすればすぐに割れそうっすね。
それしかないな。課長からこの山一口さしてかかりそうだからって脅されてます。
Kumagai is cute, but he's got pencil arms. Hey, you know, not all of us are ripped, okay? Not all of us can be Uisi.
その辺注意してくださいよ。
了解っす。
Kumagai gathered some officers and gave them directions.
入江先生が到着しました。
It's Coach.
先生、あそ
I'm
こで
sorry,
す。
Doctor. A young doctor got out of his car and headed in the victim's direction.
どうも。
Oh, he's not wearing his bustin' outfit. He also looks a little too happy to be told that there's a dead body who's unidentifiable because their face has been beaten to a pulp and he needs to identify it. He's like, oh, this is just a fun Watanagashi Festival, isn't it?
遅れて申し訳ありません。抽選会の手伝いの最中だったもので。
Yeah, that takes priority over a dead person.
先生、今日の祭りでだいぶ
But
飲
we
ん
see,
で
I
た
don't
で
think
し
you're
ょ
in。any position to judge other people's habits.
アルコール本当に抜けてます。
Oh, that would explain why he's happy.
後で風船でも膨らましてもらっちゃおうかな。
But then you'd be out one doctor.
ご安心を。運転はスタッフに代わってもらってますので。
Who's your assistant?
そりゃ卒がない。おい、先生、どうした
Was Luisi really trying to arrest him or give him a ticket for drunk driving when he specifically called the dude here? That's not cool. There was an area cordoned off with blue plastic sheets. An officer rolled up the sheet and let Luisi and Erie pass. The forensic people were taking photos from many different angles. Oh, we gotta get them all! The blood splatters and bloody sandals were left untouched, marked with the chalk and indicated with small alphabetized plates.
こういうものは見慣れませんね。
Erie took out a handkerchief and covered his nose.
匂いがダメな時は口呼吸にするんですよ。まあ、こういう匂いは目でも嗅げちゃうかな。ね。
Are we gonna get a CG of how disgusting the body looks? No, we'll just get a blood splatter. The body appeared to be that of a middle-aged woman. It was soaked in blood. It looked like a middle-aged woman because of the hair and what she was wearing. The reason why no one could be certain it was a middle-aged woman was because its face was completely pulverized.
ひどい。
十中八九円弧
What
の線
tipped you off? I'm pretty sure it was justified self-defense if their face was beaten to a pulp.
血痕とサンダル裏から見て、ここで殺したのは間違いないでしょう。
Did he steal a motorcycle just like Keiichi?
でも見ての通り、ここは人通りが少ないと言ったって、往来のど真ん中です。ここで頭部がひしゃげるまで殴り続けたってのは、ちょいとまともな話じゃないですからね。でね、ほら、腕とか見てみてください。
You bet Erie knows who killed the aunt but plays dumb? Probably. Yeah. He's probably one of those guys who's like, I don't necessarily condone it, but I get it. Luisi put on latex gloves and lifted the corpse's arm.
腕は綺麗なもんでしょう。
それはつまり腕で防いだとか抵抗したとかそういう痕跡がないという意味です。
Maybe she died on the first impact, but he's like, nah, I gotta get more of this anger out. Being demon possessed and all.
さすが高学歴。仏さんはおそらく最初の一撃で脳震盪かなんかで気絶したんじゃないかと思うんです。で、星は確実に殺した手応えを得るためにさらに打撃を加えた。さらに言えば仏さんはその時うつ伏せに倒れたように思うんですよね。ねえ、服の汚れ具合からの勘ですが。
遺体は仰向けですね。
星は後頭部を散々潰して明らかに頭蓋骨が砕けてる手応えを得ているにもかかわらず、わざわざ顔面を潰してるんじゃないかと思うんですよ。
But what happened to Satoshi? Where did he go? Erie looked like he was going to throw up, both because of the putrid smell and Uisi's reasoning.
遺体の顔面を殴るってのは私の経験じゃかなり怨恨の線が強いです。それもだいぶ濃厚な。
Is it a petty grudge or a professional grudge?
ってことはつまり、星は仏のかなり近辺にいるのは間違いないかと。
私を呼んだのが救命活動ではないということは
先生、この人が誰かわかりますかね。わかれば聞き込みの手間がだいぶ省けるんですがね。
Erie looked at the body once again. He looked away quickly and thought. Then, after a while, Erie left the investigation area without saying anything. I didn't say you could leave.
すみません。私にはわかりかねます。
He's like, Uisi on the hunt. You're not getting away from him.
本当に？
Uisi smirked and looked into Erie's eyes. Although, as though Erie was hiding something.
別に隠してなんかいません。
Five Cyclops appear.
先生もアルコールがまだ抜けきってないだけですよ。頭が冴えたら思い出すかもしれません。思い出したら教えてくださいね。
Uisi tapped Erie on the back. The doctor, saying he wanted some fresh air, left the scene. Ooh, I wonder if part of the reason Satoshi wanted Mion to bring Satoko to the festival was A, to try to give Satoko a, like, fun time that night, but also B, he didn't want her to see or be able to deduce what happened, and 3, he potentially also doesn't want her to be a suspect. That could be the case. Doctor saying he wanted fresh air, you left the scene. Kumagai returned.
おいさん、課長から無線です。1号車の無線っす。
入江の先生。
I have this Magatama. I saw his Cyclops.
いえ、こっち、仏の聞き込み急いでください。ほぼ間違いなくこの近くにお住まいです。
June 20th, 1982, 9:39 p.m.
おいさん、連れてきました。
どうも。こんな夜更けに申し訳ありませんね。
Oh, is he calling Satoshi?
明日も学校なのに本当に申し訳ないです。
There he is! Oh boy. Now, as much as I like Satoshi in this art style, I do not like Uisi in the console art style. Uisi has to be in the remake art style, so here we go.
お父さんはどちらへ？
Okay, that's a low blow, you doofus. You surely know his dad is dead.
うちの義父は
Oh, or
あまり帰ってきませんので。
おお、いつ頃から？最後に帰ってきたのはいつ？
さあ。
Oh, maybe Uisi suspects it's the uncle.
義母と喧嘩しているのを聞いた限り
In the
は
club.
沖宮でどこかのキャバレーの人と同棲してるとかなんとか。
The anime did Kumage dirty. He was a forgettable NPC character design. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Justice for Kumage.
最後に会ったのはあまり覚えてないんですけど、先々週。
I didn't finish. It was hard for me to judge.
お父さんの連絡先はわかります？
いえ。
キャバレーの人と同居してるって言いましたよね。なんてお店かわかります？
いえ、沖宮のどこかにあると しか知りません。
Well, I've been to every club in Okinomiya. Is it this one? Is it Hooters? I think it was Hooters. I knew it.
お父さんの名前は？
北条哲平です。
Uesu signaled Kumage with his chin, who nodded while taking notes.
お父さんとお母さんはあまり仲良くなかったですか？
程度の度合いは分かりませんが、よくはなかったと思います。
率直に聞いて申し訳ないですけど、お母さんに恨みを持っていた人間とか知っていたら教えてほしいんですがね。
よくわからないで
This
す。
is interesting, because I thought Satoshi disappeared the same night that the aunt died. But maybe that's not the case? I was always under the impression that for the curse on the Watanagashi Festival, one person died, one person got demoned away, like in the same night. But maybe that's not the case. Does anyone have a grudge against her? Everyone. Yeah, that's pretty true.
そうですか。じゃあもしも思い出したらでいいので、その時は教えてくださいね。これ私の名刺です。ここに電話番号ありますので。
はい。
じゃあ後日またいろいろとお話を伺うこともあるかもしれません。もしもお父さんと連絡がつきましたら、沖宮警察署の大石まで至急ご連絡をとお伝えください。
The uncle, the police always want to contact the uncle. He's kind of a shady dude.
くまちゃん、北条さんを自宅まで送ってあげてください。
He's like, no, I am allergic to cars.
一人で帰れますから。
Oishi's like, look, Oishi, if he's smart, is gonna be, look, there might be a murderer on the loose. We're not letting that. Yeah, there might be a murderer on the loose.
お母さんを襲った犯人がまだ近くにいる可能性があるんですよ。
Well, he is.
あなたもまた狙われない保証なんてないんですからね。
お気遣いありがとうございます。
Just do it, Satoshi.
でも本当に
That's gonna look
結構ですね。
suspicious. Satoshi tried to reject the offer, but Uesu and Kuwage insisted. In the end, Satoshi was forced to accept. Yes! He turned around to leave. When Uesu spoke to him as if he'd remembered something he'd forgotten to say.
北条さん。
はい。
大丈夫ですよ。心配しないでください。犯人はすぐに捕まりますよ。
手がかりとかあるんですか？
That's true, yeah. Oishi definitely has a very personal reason to be involved with this because his friend was the foreman who was the first death.
ありますよ。
どんなですか？
捜査上の秘密ですよ。
We found this baseball bat. It says property of Satoko on it. Ordinary people might think Oishi was trying to cheer the poor kid up with a joke.
いえね。人を殺すってのはかなり感情の高ぶるもんなんですよ。そりゃ冷静に殺してみせるロボットみたいなのも稀にいますがね。
感情が高ぶると
Ooh.
何かわかるんですか？
人は極限まで感情が高ぶるといろいろ体に反応が出ます。発汗とか脱毛とかね。
Hey, you're kind of sweaty right now.
殺人現場に犯人の毛髪が落ちているってことは割とあることなんですよ。まあここは屋外ですからね。現場が絨毯の上ってのとはだいぶ勝手が違いますが。
He is a lot more quiet than Keiji, isn't he?
犯人の毛髪は拾えたんですか？
さあね。鑑識の連中が大列組んでさっきから行ったり来たりしていろいろ探してます。まだ結果待ちでね。何が出るやら。
That's why you wear a hairnet if you're committing a murder.
明日があるので今夜はもう帰ります。
そうなさってください。クマちゃん、送ってあげてください。
了解っす。
では北条さん。
Keiichi would be self-reporting himself. Bait self-report.
また近いうちに進展があったらお知らせしますよ。北条さんも何か思い出したりしたらぜひ教えてくださいね。
Not if you remember something, when you remember something.
憎き母の仇の逮捕に協力してまいりましょう。うん。
Ooh, to be continued. Higurashi when they cry.